Hey everyone, this is Neha and welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I have taken up class 9th poem number 4, The Lake Isle of Innisfree. And if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, do subscribe it and hit the bell icon for further notifications. The poem The Lake Isle of Innisfree is written by William Butler Yeats, who was an Irish poet and one of the foremost figures of 20th century literature. This is a lyrical poem, or we can call it a lyric. Lyric is a formal type of poetry which expresses personal emotions or feelings. The poet also presents a character in the first person to express his emotions. The poet may use rhyme or other literary devices to create a song-like quality. The poem is about the charm of a rural area. The poet dreams of escaping the busy and crowded streets of London to a small island in a lake of which he had fond childhood memories. It is a simple, natural place where he will build a cottage, grow beans, have a beehive, and live alone, listening to the sounds of the birds singing and the bees buzzing at the lapping of lake water. The poem expresses a set of desires familiar in the modern world to escape, to achieve peace and solitude, and to be at one with nature. It is all about how the speaker dreams for the future and don't quite reconcile with his present situation. Here, reconcile means he is not ready to accept. It is about the clash between speaker's dreams and reality. The Lake Isle of Innisfree is an actual place in a lake in County Sligo in northwestern Ireland. Theme of the poem: man often desires a harmonious union with nature and a return to a simpler way of life. We should learn to enjoy and appreciate the beauty in nature. And living close to nature gives a soothing effect to a tired, troubled mind. Let's start with first stanza. The Lake Isle of Innisfree. I will arise and go now and go to Innisfree, and a small cabin built there of clay and wattles made. 9 bean rows will I have there, a hive for the honey bee, and live alone in the bee-loud glade. Here isle means island. Arise means to stand up. Innisfree is an island in a lake. Cabin, a small wooden shelter. Glade means open space in a forest. Clay here stands for mud. And wattles, material consisting of twigs and branches used for building walls or fences. Here you can see in the pictures also. Bean rows here stands for rows of bean plants. And bee loud means place having the loud sound of bees buzzing, and here you can see the hive also in the picture. I will arise and go now and go to Innisfree. Here the poem starts with the poet saying that he will wake up and go to the island of Innisfree. Here the poet compares his life in the city to sleep. Means he said he will wake up and becomes conscious. He will be transported away from the non-active city life to a life of activity in a rural area. And a small cabin built there of clay and wattles made. 9 bean rows will I have there, a hive for the honey bee, and live alone in the bee-loud glade. Here in particular, the poet mentions 2 activities that he would like to engage in. Number 1 is physical labor, that he will go to Innisfree in the rural area and he will build a cabin. He will plant 9 rows of beans there so that he can live in that cabin, and he should have his food in the form of those beans. And beekeeping, and for the honey bee, for the honey, he will have a hive of honeybee over there, and he wishes to live alone where bee loud glade, where buzzing sound of the bees will fill the entire environment. The rhyme scheme of first stanza is A, B, A, B. Here, in is free, B are rhyming together, and maid and glade are also rhyming together. In rest of the stanzas also, the rhyme scheme is A, B, A, B. Literary devices in the first stanza. Number 1, you can see the underlined words with red color, go and go. Here repetition is there. What is repetition? Simple repeating of a word in a sentence or in a poetical line to add emphasis to certain actions. So here go and go is repetition, and alliteration is also there in go and go. And what is alliteration? The repetition of initial consonant sounds in the same line. So here in go and go sound is repeated. And here in the second line, alliteration is also there in cabin and clay. And in next line, there is have, hive and honey. There is also alliteration because consonant sound is also repeating again. And then in the last line, live, alone, loud, glade. Again alliteration is there. I will arise and go now. In here the expression I will arise and go now has been used twice in the poem. Once in the first stanza and then again it has been used in the last stanza. So repetition, apart from giving a smooth flow to the poem, brings out the poet's decisiveness. Decisiveness means the ability to make decisions quickly and effectively. So he is clear in his mind that he would definitely get up and leave for Innisfree. So here repetition is there. Assonance is there in the line 9 bean rows will I have there a hive for the honeybee. What is assonance? Assonance is the repetition of the same or similar vowel sounds within the words, phrases or sentences. So here I sound is repeated. Imagery is also there in the line a small cabin built there of clay and wattles made. And what is imagery? Imagery means to use figurative language to represent objects, actions and ideas in such a way that it appeals to our physical senses, that we can imagine those things, we can create visual representations in our mind. Stanza 2. And I shall have some peace there, for peace comes dropping slow, dropping from the vales of the morning to where the cricket sings. There midnight's all a glimmer and noon a purple glow, and evening full of the linnet's wings. Here veil stands for misty atmosphere, and it can be a bride's veil also, you can see in the picture. And cricket here is an insect, the picture is given. Linnet is a small bird of brown color, and glimmer is shining. Here in this stanza, the poet says that when in Innisfree, he will feel peaceful, and he says that the feeling of peace is felt slowly and gradually. He describes how he would feel peaceful. In the morning time, when it is cloudy and the view is not very clear, then it will appear as if the morning has worn a veil and has hidden himself. Looking at this scene will make him feel peaceful. And further he says that when the male cricket insect will sing a song, that sound will bring him at peace. There midnight's all a glimmer and noon a purple glow. Also at midnight, when he will see the twinkling stars in the open sky, their shine will give him peace. And in the afternoon, when the sun will give a purplish glow, it will also give him peace. And evenings full of the linnet's wings. During the evening, when he will see the linnet bird flying in the sky, then also he will feel peaceful. Literary devices in the stanza 2. Number 1 is metaphor here. In the line, veils of the morning means fogs or dews of the morning. Personification is also there in Veils of the Morning. Here, morning is personified as a woman whose face is covered by a veil. The fog, mist, and dew drops in the morning atmosphere forms the veil. Next is imagery. The poet has used both visual and auditory imagery. Here are some examples of visual imagery in like Veils of the Morning, midnight saw a glimmer, an evening full of linnet's wings, and noon a purple glow. And auditory imagery is there in Cricket Sings. Auditory imagery pertains to sounds, noises, music, or the sense of hearing. Alliteration is also there in their midnight saw a glimmer and noon a purple glow. Glimmer and glow. Repetition is there, repetition of words or phrases in the same line. For example, and I shall have some peace. Therefore, peace comes dropping slow, dropping from the veils. The word peace and dropping are repeated. Stanza 3. I will arise and go now, for always night and day I hear lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore. While I stand on the roadway or on the pavement's grey, I hear it in the deep heart's core. Here lapping means the sound of water striking the shore. Low means soft. Roadway stands for road in the town. Pavement's grey, dull and drab paths. Deep heart's core, deep in my heart. In this stanza, the poet makes a resolution that he will go to Innisfree just now because Innisfree is never out of his mind. Throughout the day and the night, he can only hear one sound in his mind, that of the water reaching the shore of the island of Innisfree at a calm pace and creating a soft lapping sound. He hears this sound deep within his own heart as he goes about his life in the urban setting of roadways and pavements. This urban setting contains none of the colors that make Innisfree beautiful. Instead, it appears grey and boring. Literary devices in para 3. Alliteration is there in lake water lapping with low sounds in the words lake, lapping, and low. Next is imagery. Imagery is there in lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore. It's auditory imagery. I stand on the roadway or on the pavement's grey. Next is metaphor in deep heart's core. Message of the poem. Through the poem, The Lake Isle of Innisfree, the poet wants to tell us that our hometown, irrespective of what facilities it has, is the place to which we are emotionally attached. Though we do get all the facilities in a city, we do not get true happiness there. Everybody in a city hankers after money and fame. Thus, the poet says that one can get peace and true happiness in one's hometown. That's why the poet plans to go back and make a simple small hut near the lake and wants to hear the sound of lapping water of lake and songs of birds which will soothe him. Thus, the Lake Isle of Innisfree is a very important place and the source to give him, to the poet, tranquility of life. Thanks.